games, comics, anime. Codenamed Epic.
We raise money for. It is set up by JCIE, which is the Japanese Center for International Exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right. And the fund is the Japan NGO Earthquake Relief and Recovery Fund. They're a nonprofit organization based in New York, and they set up a fund that donates to, is it 5 or 6 Japanese?
6.
6 Japanese nonprofits working in Japan on the ground for recovery and relief efforts. It was kind of a big deal when we held our first event. We had to decide where the money was going to, and at that time, the Japanese government hadn't officially asked for help from a lot of these big charity organizations, like the Red Cross or whatever. They were all putting aside money, but there was no guarantee that it was going to get to where we wanted to get to. And we found this this fund, and because they work directly with Japan all the time, their money gets transferred straight to Japanese nonprofits on the ground. And so that became our charity of choice, because we felt like it was the quickest way to get the most amount of money to the cause that we wanted. Did I do a good job? Yeah. Those are the lists of the charity. You can also go to jcie.org, I think, to read more about the specific charities. Okay. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I was talking to a lot of you guys out there, and you guys didn't even realize how many of you guys have been to a We Heart Japan event before? Okay. And how many of you guys had never even heard of us before PMX? Okay, so there's like a few of you. So we were kind of shocked that, because I was telling them like some of the past events, they were like, oh my god, that sounds so cool, we didn't ever hear about it. So follow us on Twitter and Facebook, retweet, get your friends so that they know about it, so you won't miss any of the cool events. That's basically our show. Oh, okay, so this is where we introduce some of the people involved. That's my bio. I really don't want to read it. I really don't feel like going over my credits. I'm a voice actress. I've also directed and produced some stuff. So yeah. So that blah blah blah. So okay. Do you want to read Pinguinos? Because I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, go ahead.
I can't read it from here.
I'm not a voice actor. Nobody cares about me.
I could read.
It's cool. Okay, so Pinguino is she works in the independent comic book world. She's an artist, a freelance designer. She's also a photographer. You might have seen her around. She covers stuff for ANN a lot of times. She also covered stuff for Wizard World. So yeah, and she writes and blogs and does all sorts of cool artsy things. It's there. She says something about threw snowballs at the top of Mount Fuji. Yeah. And Rana, who is here today, but she's have already left. She basically has worked at almost every single company and done everything. Gosh, where did she work? She worked at Genion, she worked at Tokyo Pop, she worked at Urban Vision. So she's worked on a lot of titles. She's in production and marketing. So yeah, so she's all around awesome and very capable. There's some list of some of her shows that she's worked on, past projects and stuff. And Satsuki Yamashita, who's actually translating for PMX. She's a freelance translator. She's done a bunch of stuff. Let's see, Paprika, Code Geass, Naruto, the X-Men anime, which is airing now on G4. I think it's Fridays.
Sundays.
Yeah, Sundays? Fridays, Sundays? I think it's Fridays, right?
Yeah, it is Fridays.
Is it, why not both?
Well, it does
and I voice Armor on that show, so you guys should all check it out. Oh yeah. Oh, and Satsuki, because she works a lot with Japanese creators, she has been helping out with this art book project, which is really, really awesome. It's a charity book featuring Gurren Lagann art. That's the cover. It's actually sold out in Japan and completely out of print. So if you don't have one already, and if you're not buying it from somebody else, you're not going to find one really in a store or anything. But it's still available in ebook form. Like you can buy it for an iPad, for a phone, for anything like that. You can buy it and if you don't have a Kindle, that's okay. It's available on Amazon. You can download it like in an app, and it's only $10. So it's and what is it? Do you have the what to search for?
Oh, what was the title again?
The title, it's if you search for "Believe in Yourself"
Yeah, there we go.
and "Sushio," it'll come up. It's really easy. Sushi and an O. Sushio.
One word.
One word. And "Believe in Yourself," and you will find that art book. So it's a really, really good cause. And see, like, Satsuki, she works with us, but she works with a lot of different people for this really good cause, and she's probably translated a lot of stuff that you've watched or read. So, Steve Yoon, you should talk about yourself.
Hi, I'm Steve. I work at Harmony Gold.
He works at Harmony Gold
Yes.
on Robotech.
On Robotech and Macross.
Macross.
Yes.
And what's
And
your
it's
president,
an old
vice
show.
president of new media?
Yes.
He's a big deal. And he's really fun at conventions.
But he still doesn't get a chair.
He does this great panel, what is it? Giant robot.
The Giant Robot Rumble, where we argue about which robot would win in a fight, and then we have panelists vote and argue on it.
It's actually really fun.
And the whole time I just make fun of everyone for
Yeah.
being a loser.
Yeah.
So.
And Shizuki is Satsuki's sister, and she's also translated a bunch of anime and video games. I actually met Shizuki because we were both producers at Sync Point. So she produced FLCL, and I'm Gonna Be an Angel. And she's translated a bunch of stuff. And she's also sometimes, she does like freelance consulting work for Japanese companies as well. So she's at the booth, so after the panel you can go and say hi and tell her how awesome she is. And Joanne Faustino, she started out working in the video game industry, and she is, what's it? She says she's been a fan of anime since the 1980s. She's been doing a lot of work she works this year at PMX. She is the, oh my gosh, what's the title? Assistant to the Director of Guest Relations. So you might see her running around, but she has worked with conventions for like over 15 years in Southern California, and then even like this past year or the past few years, she's starting to help out at East Coast conventions as well. So, and she's part of her. So, okay, before we do the looking back, I want to introduce Taka. And Taka, can you give us your background and then also like what your experience? Because Taka was there when everything happened. So.
Yeah, basically, my adventure of this year is that I was there, the 3/11 in Tokyo, not Tokyo. Actually, I was in Fukushima. I was actually at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant when the big one hit. So I was there for the big one, and as Californians, fellow Californians, and if anyone's from out of state, you're welcome here too as an honorary Californian. We're all waiting and preparing for the big one. I was there, and I kind of got a taste of what it was like. Actually, it was 9.0, so it was really a big one. No big deal.
Did you guys, I mean, do they teach people to duck and cover as well, or like what's the protocol there?
Well, see, I was wondering about that because you learn duck and cover in grade school. You're supposed to carry that for all your life as a way to save your life when the big one hits, but as many things are that you learn in grade school, you're kind of embarrassed to do that as an adult. And so when the big one hit, I was trying to stay seated in my seat, pretending like nothing was going on instead of ducking under. And I guess most buildings are good because in a quake-prone zone like Japan and probably even in California, seismic engineering is done to the paranoid extent. So you probably will not die from building collapse. But what I learned is that plaster is not part of seismic engineering, so that could fall and hit you in the head. That didn't happen to me because I was in an old building that didn't have plaster. It predates plaster.
Wow.
But otherwise, yeah, other buildings are not so ancient, so that they do have
Structurally sound?
no, they're structurally sound. Sound. I mean, they don't collapse, they don't crack. But plaster is different because it's cosmetic. But they have mass, they have weight. If they fall, they could hit you with sufficient mass that you could be knocked out, you could be hurt, you could, well, potentially not survive.
And then, how long were you there? Did like in terms of with the stuff that happened with the reactors and stuff, was that an immediate, like, were you guys aware of the immediate threat immediately, or is it something that kind of slowly unfolded? Because like in terms of being part of the public, you know, we don't know what we get, you know, what they release us.
Very valid. The realization that there was a threat came pretty slowly because, well, at a nuclear power plant, contingency plans are also planned out to the wazoo. So you think, okay, something that we planned out for happened. Okay, I see some building cracking, and in fact the turbine building is cracking, but the reactors all shut down, the power plant is completely out of power. Okay, so a couple of explosions are taking place, but that's not real explosions because those are the emergency diesel generators starting up. But they're kind of clogged and ancient, so their exhaust pipe is kind of clogged, so when they kicked in, they explode. The exhaust came out in a nice, spectacular explosive flue.
So, in terms of the initial explosions, when they happened, was the reaction kind of like, oh well, yeah, of course that was going to happen. And it'll be fine. Is that the?
Well, I'm not talking about the actual accidental explosion, but the emergency generators kicking in.
Okay.
But the actual explosion, the Unit 1 did have a hydrogen explosion because the hydrogen built up in the building and that ignited. That actually happened a full day after the whole town was evacuated. So evacuation plans, contingency plans actually worked as planned. The magnitude of the accident and disaster was far more serious than anything that anybody will hope for.
So, were you evacuated before the Plant 1 had the accident, or?
Yeah, a whole long hours ago. Let's see. The evacuation happened at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. The actual explosion of Unit 1 took place at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. That's a full 9 hours before anything bad happened. So, well, they were prepared to evacuate. It's really the extent of the disaster that's serious.
It sounds like that you guys, it was pretty smooth, like organized and smooth.
Except for the old people who did not want to leave town because they would rather stay. I mean, going back, that's common to human history. Does anyone remember Mount St. Helens?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, prudent people evacuated in due time, but there were old people who insisted on staying at home, and they got pretty much smothered by volcanic ash and perished. Same thing happens every year.
Do you have, are you still in touch with any coworkers or friends there? Is there anything that you can tell us about a state of things now?
Yes, I have a story for you because guess what I'm going to be doing over Thanksgiving. Also, there's a no-man's zone, something like what, 10, 20-mile radius from the nuclear power plant that's forcibly evacuated. Since so my background was that I'm an interpreter. I do conventions, anime, I do as well as engineering stuff. I'm pretty indiscriminate in what kind of job I do. So I was there at the nuclear power plant interpreting for an American programmer. So I was saying that this was supposed to be a 4-month assignment. It was cut short, but I was staying at a hotel. All my belongings are still there, including all my computer, my ukulele, my H videos are there too. So the hotel got in touch with me saying we're organizing a retrieval trip. We'll give you a 2-hour window to pick up your stuff. The hotel is only 3 miles away from the nuclear power plant, and the trip will be happening on Thanksgiving Day, so I'll be making my trip soon over there.
So you're just gonna like run in, grab your stuff, and run out?
Run in a Tyvek suit. Put everything into a plastic bag, take it out, go to the meetup station, measure it for contamination. If it's clean, then I'll take it home.
Wow, you should document it. I want to see videos.
All right, if anyone. Oh, okay. If anyone's happy to part with their cheap digicam,
Well, the camera would have to be like in a bag as well, probably, right? If you wanted to.
that might be prudent, but that would end up with crappy photos. So
That's true.
consider the camera expendable. Just take photos, toss it, and
And toss it,
the
yeah.
SD card.
Interesting. Thank you, Taka. And then you can stay to ask questions if people have questions. Is that cool? Yeah. So, all right. So back to our slideshow. So we have some photos of past events. So some of you attended these. This is our first event. It was at Meltdown Comics. Unfortunate name, I know. But they're totally a landmark in Los Angeles, and the owners are wonderful, and you should buy all your comics there. They have a huge space in the back, and they basically let us have their space for free to throw this event. When it happened, and I was calling around trying to find a space, it was, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, well yeah, it's for a good cause. They'll totally give you a space for free, and it was not true. Like everyone was like, oh, that's gonna be $1,000. That was gonna, I didn't have $1,000 to spend. And Pinguino is friends with the guys who run Meltdown. He was like, sure, of course, do it. We're more than happy to host. And the employees there stayed so late as we were cleaning up and tallying and everything. Our first event was an art show. It was a charity art show. It was like a silent auction. And then we had a bunch of voice actors, like maybe over 20, signing autographs with donation bins. And we had a Comic Kaze Expo, which happened last weekend at LA Convention Center. They gave us their alcohol tequila sponsor. So we had a free tequila for 200 people and a bunch, and then just, the voice actors that showed up, literally just showed up with bags of alcohol, because we said it was an open bar until it ran out. And so people just showed up, was like, I just wanted to contribute. So there was an open bar, and we invited 3 food trucks out front, and at the end of the night, they showed up and said, hey, here's half of what we made to donate, and that's not something we didn't ask them for. So that night we raised over $6,000 for JCIE's fund, and the video game company THQ matched it to go to the American Red Cross. So we raised about over $13,000 that night. And a lot of people were really generous, I had people who were like, guys like, I lost my job today, but here's money I have in my wallet. So it was kind of amazing. And it was a good time. I think people just had fun, So that was our first event. Moving on. Oh, this was the karaoke event. So who went to the karaoke event? Because I know some of you guys did. You too. Great. It happened right before AX, the night before AX, and it was in Little Tokyo, and Christina V and I basically had a really mini event. I can't remember how much the tickets were.
40.
$40? Okay, it was like $40 for like 20 people, but it was less than 20, about 20 people. Give or take 20 people in a private karaoke room, and we were there for about 3 hours, 3 or 4, 3 hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, we kept breaking a karaoke machine instead of...
Yeah, it was like 3 hours, and it was like private karaoke with myself and Christina V. I think we sang a K-On! Song once. And then at the end, we ended up singing "Don't Stop Believin',"
Nice.
and we passed the mic around, so each person got like a little verse, and it timed out perfectly. Like each person went once, and that was we basically had it at the door, and as we were walking out, people sang a verse. It was really, really cool. So it's really intimate, fun, because you get to meet other people too. So that was our karaoke we heard singing for Japan. And then our most recent event, how many of you guys went to that?
I wanted to, but sorry.
It's okay. That was October 1st, and it was called We Heart Performing for Japan, and basically it was a stage show. Mari Ichima, singer-songwriter Mari Ichima, who is also known for voicing Lin Minmei in Macross, Japanese version. She came and she sang, she opened, she sang a bunch of songs. Then we had Dan Southworth and TJ Rotolo. They are stuntmen who worked on Power Rangers. And Dan was actually one of the Rangers. I can't remember.
Quantum Ranger.
Oh, Quantum Ranger?
Power Rangers Time Force.
You know what color he was?
Red.
He was red.
He was red. I thought
He
was
was
red.
the 6th Ranger.
Yeah. So he was there. And they did a demo, like a fighting combat demo. They pulled an audience member out on stage. They taught him a little choreography, and then they basically did this demo to kind of emulate what it's like. It was Aaron. Aaron, you want to talk a little bit about it? Aaron is here. Aaron, because we put on Twitter, we need some volunteers, and so Aaron showed up, and he's volunteering. So you can buy raffle tickets from him for $2. But Aaron went to our other event, and he got pulled on stage. And do you want to talk about what it was like?
Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
They taught you a routine, right?
Yeah,
they make you do.
They teach you first. They get you ready to be a stunt actor, a Japanese stunt actor, which involves smoking like 6 packs of cigarettes a day and a bottle of whiskey, and a lot of torment by the directors. And so then they needed to test my endurance to become a stuntman.
Yeah.
Which involved them distracting me while the other guy snuck behind me and like broke a board over my back. It was really interesting. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to they got me set up in the after I learned the moves. I had to do the laugh.
Do you remember?
The Sentai villain laugh. It's like. And so basically you have that, you need to know the moves, you have to have the laugh down, and then you got to get into the outfit, and the outfit was just one of the hottest things I've ever worn. You know, it's like 3 or 4 layers of clothes, and then this ridiculous helmet. They're saying you know, they would bring out these helmets and tell the stuntmen, don't break this, it costs like $5 grand. And it was just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. It was really a fun thing. Those guys are great, and the whole event was, well, I'll let you finish with the event. It was really cool.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, so it was really entertaining watching him get tortured on stage. And then our last act was basically we reunited the American cast of Cowboy Bebop, including the voice director Mary Elizabeth, and they came on stage and they read an episode of Cowboy Bebop. It was Toys in the Attic, and the one with the thing in the fridge. I don't know if you've seen it. And
in the fridge.
yeah, it was great. And Steve Bloom, in addition to voicing Spike, also did all the I'm noises. And we had sponsors, and there's like a lot of cool weird sodas and Red Bull and things like that. So that was our last event. So. You think you can? Did I miss anything, Steve? You want to switch the slide? Oh, there's more pictures. It's them. Oh, and then Pinguino made these cupcakes. I don't know if you can see on there that has Ein on them at the top. Can you kind of see? There's a little Ein. And Haichu was one of our sponsors too, so there's a lot of free Haichu. I ate so much candy that day. There's Mari.
Where did she get those eyes?
She made them. She didn't get them. She made them. She made them out of confectioner sugar. Each one is handmade. It was amazing. I couldn't eat it. Like I was holding my cupcake for like 3 hours. I could not eat it. I was like, it's so cute. Yeah. So these photos right now were taken from James Gannon, who is part of JCIE, who runs the nonprofit that has the fund that we donate to. He was in Japan in September, like around, I think the photos are dated September 11th actually, and he said he wanted people here to see see that the cleanup in the Sendai area is improving, but there's still a lot to do. And these photos were taken. Was it Sacramento Bee?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Sacramento Bee's online site, they did a time-lapse photo. The first pictures are from March, and the middle pictures are from, is it June? Is that right? It says in there.
March, June,
Yes.
and then the last one's September.
And the
3rd.
last one is September. So it's just to kind of like let you guys know that like all the money that we're sending there and support is really helping out. What I think, I mean, it's clearly a lot of progress has been made. At the same time, what you can't see from the photos though, you can go to the next slide because there's a big series of them. What you can't see from the photos though is like the recovery that they need, you know, that is not physical, you know, in terms of economy and things that you don't actually see. But in terms of the cleanup is on its way. There's still more to do, but it's definitely a lot of progress has been made. And it's been what, like 7, 8 months? 7, 8 months now?
8.
So 8 months?
Yes, it's been 8.
Yeah. Is there more photos?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly 8 months, yeah. Oh, this was, oh yeah, that's the water, the bank. So, that one's kind of crazy too. That's the staircase.
Oh, God.
It's airport. So you can see like there looks like it's actually functioning. I don't know if it's functioning or not though.
That's Sendai.
Yeah, it's an airport.
There's an anime-related story to the recovery of Sendai Airport.
Oh, what is it? Tell us.
On the first day, they resumed commercial flights to Sendai Airport. Which was that? I think that may have been back in April or May. There was one guy who was welcoming the first flight. I think that was Japan Airlines with a welcome sign saying "Okai nasai," welcome back in Japanese. Except it was straight out from the last episode 6 of Gunbuster with one of the letters intentionally flipped back. If anyone remembers Gunbuster.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a Jungfreud.
Yeah, so an anime fan was there and Sendai to welcome back the first commercial flight into Sendai International Airport. And that sort of, makes me feel happy as a fellow anime fan.
That's pretty cool. Any more pictures? I can't remember how many there are.
I think there's like 1 or 2 more.
So you can go on the Sacramento Bee website. Okay, so in terms of this is like what you can do. We have a link at weheartjapan.com. And there's a donate button, so you really can donate anytime. It's not, it's not like you have to go to an event to donate or anything. If you tag us, that would be nice, just so that they know that it's, we're helping to raise money. And then in terms of volunteering, we have a sign-up sheet at the booth at events. Sometimes we need volunteers if you want to do that, or you want to get more involved in an organizational level. That's cool too, because all of us involved, we all have daytime jobs, and there's a lot of things that are not glamorous about running a charity organization. Calling up vendors, finding out pricing of things. Pinguino does really great. She calls, like every event that we have, we get it sponsored. So she'll call up beverage companies. Hey, we're having an event. It's going to be this many people. Can you donate to us? Like all of that kind of work. We need people to do. Even like accounting too. It's just some less glamorous thing. But if you're interested in volunteering, like Erin is here helping out. Please email us or sign up. There's a sign-in sheet at our booth. And just follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And the main thing too is just like spreading the word to your friends, because when we do have an event, it's always like at a huge risk to us. We spend a lot of time and effort and it costs money. So we always want to make sure that enough people show up, because if it doesn't make enough money, like then we're not, we're not raising enough money. And it's really important now, I think, too, because some time has passed, and after any tragedy event, Katrina, Haiti, like immediately when it happens, everyone's really concerned and they donate stuff, and then as time goes by, people forget about it and they're not not as likely to give. And times are tough, I totally understand. So just spreading the word and kind of keeping it alive in people's minds, that they know that there's still a lot to be done, is important for us. Hello, Steve. You can switch the slide now.
Oh, that's the last.
That's the last one. Okay, wait, sorry. Should we do Q&A or should we do raffle? Q&A? You want to go up here? Steve, come up here. Do you guys have any questions? No? Do you have questions for Taka?
What kind of questions?
Like any questions involving, the group or what we do, or you can ask Taka and what his experiences was like being there. Yeah, you?
I was just wondering, how were they able to drain all the water? You guys know at all, or?
Drain all the water from where? Oh, from the area that got.
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking at that. It's
So
amazing.
Tsunami water?
Yeah.
No. Do they just waited for the water to recede?
It might recede and just dry out. I don't know if they pump it out. Actually, I don't know.
Just wondering.
If you,
I think it moves back out to the ocean on its own.
I think it does.
Well, the
I'll have to
earthquake
Google it.
catch.
Yeah.
The earthquake resulted in some of the ground sinking, so some of the places were lower than they were, so the water may not completely recede on its own by gravity.
If anyone finds out, post it on our Facebook page to help inform everybody. It'd be great. No questions? Well, if you think of any, yes.
What did they do with all the debris from the cleanup?
I don't know.
That's the debris location is actually what to do with the debris is actually a hot political topic right now, because the respective prefectures aren't completely capable of dispensing with the debris on their own. Some other prefectures need to help out and take that on. But aside from the debris from Fukushima, there's not much radiation to be worried about, but that's something that they would raise as a concern. And then there's also that huge pile of debris that's floating on the ocean, just floating towards Hawaii right now. Prediction is that, or forecast is that some of it might hit California or the West Coast by year's end.
That's crazy. It's like a...
The pile of garbage, you see that in anime, like in Paprika maybe.
Yeah, in like future world. It's like a... I keep thinking it's like Katamari, but like... It's like picking up stuff as it goes along.
Only we're that easy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, does anyone want to purchase any more raffle tickets? Last call for raffle tickets. $2 for one ticket and $12 for $20. And then I will start raffling things off in about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so.
I'll purchase.
Go see
purchase.
see any just behind you. Turn around.
I've got something on here that you might want to show.
Oh, okay. Give it to
I've got
Steve.
a promotional video for
Oh, for your
Japan.
Yeah. So we're going to show this. How long is the video?
It's 2.5 minutes.
Okay, so we'll show this video as people are buying raffle tickets. And this is a movie. It's a documentary film. I don't know if you guys have heard of Stu Levy. It's Levy, right?
Stu Levy,
from Tokyo Pop.
P4J.
He has been in Japan helping out and doing a documentary film. It's
There
called
it is.
Pray for Japan.
No,
and
no,
this,
no.
they're still working on distribution and things like that, but we have a trailer for it if you want to see some of the footage and stuff. And they have a Facebook page, Pray for Japan.
Yeah,
So
I've got all the information. Just come to me.
it's pretty easy to search for.
Yeah. Do we have
found
an
it.
audio feed for the projector?
Do you have audio feed for the projector?
topic of Stu Levy, did he ever finish and release America's Greatest Otaku?
Oh, yes, he did. It's on, what's it, Hulu.
It's on Hulu?
Yes,
Okay. Is it free on Hulu?
yes.
Oh.
And also banned on Hunter's Track.
Okay, cool. I'll look for it.
Wait, what's it called?
Have you ever heard of, it's America's Greatest Otaku? It's like a reality show where otaku compete against each other,
It
right?
is a reality show.
Yeah, it was basically a search. They went all over
Cool. It's on Hulu if you want to.
Yeah.
Andrew is there with raffle tickets. If anyone else over there? Oh, and let me just also say that at the booth, we're also selling a few items too. So if you want to stop by, we're over, like kind of like when you come in right before you reach the information desk. There's a bunch of tables there. We're also selling T-shirts. So I have T-shirts on me. If you want to buy a T-shirt, you could see me afterwards. Cool. Is the video? No.
I think I need the microphone
Oh.
for the audio.
Okay.
Ghetto Rick.
Ghettos are all out.
Here we go.
On March 11, 2011, at 2:46 p.m., one of the most powerful earthquakes in history among Japan. Followed 30 minutes later by a massive tsunami. The Tohoku region and its incredibly coast
Someone talking.
Yet through all of this misfortune and misery, the Japanese people have remained resilient, determined to rebuild the Tohoku region and their nation. Grace, strength, courage, and conviction. I have committed tears. My name is Stu Levy, and I'm making a documentary to tell their story. Lessons that we can learn from the Tohoku tragedy. But this film is about uncelebrated heroes, rebuilding lives. Please join me in the mission to save Tohoku and rebuild Japan's future.
Okay, let's start the raffle. All right, who has the bin?
Anyone else?
Anyone else want tickets? Did you just, anyone else want tickets? Anyone else? Okay. All right. So, how about Andrew, you pull it out, and then Aaron, you can run it over to whoever wins.
Okay. What's the first item?
The first item is wall scroll. It's the, oh, I can never say. Securate. Securate. Wall scroll.
All right.
Ready?
First winner is ticket number 8448. Last four digits.
8448.
Oh.
So, give the ticket to Aaron, and then Aaron verify that he has the right ticket. Yeah, Aaron, you can stay here and have him come up.
Come on up.
Come on up, and then verify. Okay, the next one is a Full Metal Brotherhood wall scroll.
Alright. And the winner
And
is
the winner is
8474.
Oh, you already said.
8474.
You?
You won?
Oh.
Yay! You can volunteer and be a winner. You pass?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Alright.
Thank you, Aaron. What's the next one?
Next one. 8414.
8414.
Wow.
8414? All right, come on up.
Come on up.
And just give him the ticket so you can verify. Make sure you shake up the thing. Okay, next is, these are larger wall scrolls, and this is a birdie wall scroll. So, Birdie the Mighty, yes. It's got a chick on it.
8467.
8467. This one? Do you want this one? Pass? Okay.
Was it a joke?
Yeah, that was me. 8421.
8421.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. Here. Okay, you guys. Last wall scroll is Gurren Lagann. Okay.
8424.
8424. Wow. Nice.
Here you come and get some gifts.
Yeah. You actually have pretty good odds. Okay. Next up is Bleach trading card game. There's 10 cards per pack, 12 packs in this box, so what, that's 120 cards. It's out of print, so because Score Entertainment doesn't exist anymore. So these are pretty rare. Who is the winner?
I have 8475.
8475. Do you want it? Alright. Wow, you were really lucky. You should go buy the lottery later today.
Take that kid to Vegas.
8473. That's me.
Mix it up. Okay.
Well, he bought a strip of 12, so.
That's true. And
8484.
Yeah.
8484?
8484.
Looks like the left.
8484 going once. Going twice. Alright. Okay.
Alright, next one. 8447.
844. Hey! Did you buy more than one?
Yeah.
How many did you buy? 12 tickets? 3 tickets? Good job. Here you go. Verify the number on him.
Go to 7-Eleven and buy new well.
Okay. So next up we have a tote bag. Black Butler. It's double-sided. This is really nice. Rana wanted it. I said she couldn't have it.
Winner is 8452.
8452. Yeah, 8452. Okay, last tote bag. This is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood tote bag. And the winner is
8437.
8437. Yeah, congratulations. Okay, last item we have is the blue sub banner.
Kind of big. We do have a carrying case.
There's a carrying case, and actually the screen goes down, just so you know. It's not like you have to walk with that huge thing for a PMX.
It winds up into that bottom thing.
Unless you want it.
Unless you want to, yeah. All right, I'm gonna draw. Okay, you guys. Drawing. I am spinning. Okay. You want to read it? You read the number.
The whole 6 digits?
Yes, the last 4.
Oh, last 4 digits. 8, 8453.
Damn. Give it to the next person.
Oh, okay, you're passing? Next person. All right. Maybe it's too big. Da-da-da, here.
Okay. 8451.
8451.
You want it?
If you don't want it, we'll go to someone else. You guys can trade. Didn't he win something else before? Verify. Okay. That is the end of our panel. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to approach us. I will be at the booth for a little bit. Stop by our booth, buy some stuff, whatever. Thank you so much for coming to the panel.
Or if you want to just donate, you can drop.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dancing Shinobi here with Codenamed Epic. By my side is Miss Stephanie Sheh. Some of you may know her as Hinata from Naruto and Orehime from the show Bleach. You guys know what I'm talking about. So, Miss Stephanie Sheh, you have a charity group going on that's helping raise awareness for the Japanese victims and the tsunami that happened a couple months ago. Can you tell our audience a little bit about it and how they might be able to get involved?
Yes. Should I hold the mic?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, just the mic. Yes, the charity group is called We Heart Japan, and we raise awareness and money to help the victims of the earthquake and tsunami. And there's a bunch of stuff that people can do. In terms of us, we have thrown several events in the Los Angeles area geared toward anime fans, a lot of them being really cool and everyone different. Our first was a Meltdown at Meltdown Comics, was an art show and just general event. There was a voice actor signing a bunch of things. There was raffles. There was open bar. And that event was our biggest event. It was 7 days after the quake, and we raised over $13,000. Our next event was a really mini event, was myself and Christina V. We had a karaoke night. So I think you paid $40, and it was a very intimate, like 20 people only, kind of like all karaoke together. It was a lot of fun. I got to like get to know a lot of people, and I think people who went made friends, you know.
That's awesome.
And our latest event was October 1st, and it was a live show. Mari Ijima, singer-songwriter, she sang a set for us. It was very lovely. And then we had Dan Southworth and TJ Rotolo, who have both worked on Power Rangers as stuntmen, and Dan was one of the Power Rangers. They had a demo, basically a live kind of fighting demo. They pulled an audience member up, taught him a routine, taught him what it was like to be a supervillain in a Japanese Sentai show. And then our closing act was the original cast from Cowboy Bebop, the American cast, along with the director. They were all on stage. They reunited and they read an episode of Cowboy Bebop live. So we threw a bunch of events like that, and you know, we promote it on Twitter and Facebook. But other than that, we're at conventions, and we have a table here, and we're selling a bunch of stuff, and we had a panel. We had a raffle yesterday, and a lot of people won some cool things. And several conventions have actually done their charity auction through us. So basically, they've had a charity auction in a different state, and then when they're done, they've donated the money to us. And our charity group, We Heart Japan, is not technically a nonprofit. Basically, we collect the money through these activities and promotion and awareness in the community. And we donate it to an organization called JCIE, which is the Japan Center for International Exchange. They have a fund. Let's see if I can get this right. It's very, very long. It's the Japanese NGO Earthquake Relief and Recovery Fund, I think. Yeah, it was a mouthful. And that fund actually goes directly to nonprofit organizations in Japan who are helping with the relief efforts.
Cool. Fantastic. And how has the PMX Expo been this year as opposed to maybe the last couple of ones?
Well, I did come last year very briefly just for like a signing and a short panel, and this year it's a lot larger, so yeah, it's pretty cool. And
nice.
I mean, it's exciting. I think it's just growing and getting bigger, so.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. You guys just heard it. That was Stephanie Sheh. I am Dancing Shinobi with Codenamed Epic. Check out the We Heart Japan.
WeHeartJapan.com.
Yes, WeHeartJapan.com.
Check follow us on Twitter. Twitter.
Yes.
Sorry, shameless plug.
Twitter and Facebook, right?
Yeah, the Twitter is We Heart Japan XO.
There you go, XO. All right, guys, we'll catch you another time. This is Dancing Shinobi signing out.